Today's podcast is brought to you by Behind the Tech with Kevin Scott. You can find links in the post on all your favorite podcast apps and stuff. And yeah, here we are, Monday. No, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Contemplating our life choices this morning.
As everybody should when
Which
they
is
wake
pretty
up.
much a daily occurrence, yeah.
It's just, what am I doing? What is...
Right. This is how I chose to pass the time. Huh. A life richly lived is not what it's going to say in my headstone.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I don't know about...
It's going to say something stupid.
It's... That it will. Minor Supreme Court case yesterday that...
Yes. By the way, again, I have my doubts about our government. I just do. Long time I have concerns. But, every once in a while there'll be like this kind of legal briefing or filing of some kind or whatever. Obviously, like any kind of a court ruling is not written directly by the judges, although they obviously go over it, make sure it's correct, et cetera, et cetera. But you see this in kind of the antitrust filings that we've seen, which don't come from a court; they come from a regulatory agency. And we saw it yesterday in the Google versus Oracle, where you read this thing and you're like, "Wow, this is well written. It's technical. It's competent. It's correct." It's a helpful reminder that for all of the nonsense going on in the world, like there's actual credible government entities happening, and whether you agree with the ruling or not. I mean, it's just it's. I don't know, I'm always impressed. I start reading. I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like this is even if I happen to agree that Google should have won this case, although God knows it's a can of worms, but. That has nothing to do with it. Like, just the quality of the writing to me is impressive.
You heard it here first, folks. He doesn't care about the ruling. It was well written.
No, I do care about the ruling.
It was.
I happen to agree with it, like I said. But listen. Come on, tell me you're not expecting the first governmental filing to have an emoji in it or some nonsense or like just. You know what I mean?
Just like finger guns sitting there.
Yeah, exactly. The quality of discourse has gone downhill big time over the past, 20 years or whatever. And then you read something like this, like, okay, there's still smart people out there.
It's good. So Google was not found to be infringing on the API effectively with Android. And
well, actually, sorry. Technically, they were that didn't happen. So
there you go.
Sorry. So Google actually admitted that they copied the code for one thing, and they did this in a previous
that's
court case.
That's right.
The Supreme Court actually took no stand on whether software code is copyrightable. What they decided on, and this is a thing that courts do, I guess. You want to narrow the decision as much as possible because, again, you're not trying to set the stage for, there's possible other software code could be copied and that would not constitute fair use. But in this case, they ruled that what Google did constituted fair use. So they did copy a work which I think by the latest legal definition can be copyrighted. It is copyrighted, right? And but it constitutes fair use.
So in the case of this podcast, you are the source of knowledge and I'm the emoji.
No.
I
I mean, honestly, first of all, no, obviously. But I mean, in this particular case, I only have what I would call a surface level understanding. But I did read the thing. Like I said, I was really, I was impressed by the quality of it.
Yeah. So that has some big ramifications. There were patent trolls crying everywhere after this.
Well, this could be tested again. I mean, someone else Oracle could go after another company right now. This doesn't foreclose that from happening. So, we'll see. Oracle, I mean, it's so weird. Like you can make this case that, because it's true, Oracle is continuing a case that Sun Microsystems had started before they were acquired by Oracle, right? Within the year of them being acquired, which who knows, maybe that was a strategy on their part because this is maybe part of a potential windfall that's coming down the road or something. But I think they were wrong to do that. I think one of the things Oracle could have done to be a good member of that community would have been to say, yeah, we're not going forward with this. We don't agree with it. But they did. And if you didn't hate them enough already, maybe this would be reason to do so. Or not, if you like Oracle and patents and don't like fair use, whatever. I don't know.
Maybe people do. Larry Ellison does.
Yeah, but Larry Ellison can get... no. I mean, sure.
I mean, he literally bought an island to leave.
To
leave people.
Yeah, but he's not living in his like Japanese oasis in the middle of San Francisco or wherever he heads off to his island on his yacht, his private jet. He's doing okay. He'll be okay, guys. It's all right.
I think he will. I think.
Pretty sure he's drinking the blood of children to stay alive at this
Oh,
point.
God.
But you know, I'm sure he's got his good points too. That's all I'm saying. Too much? Let me know when I've stepped out of line.
I didn't think we were talking about Dracula today, but here we are.
The Dracula of California.
There's no way to recover from this.
Boy, sorry.
Is there anybody we haven't made angry lately other than Larry Ellison who can't end our existence?
Can't defend himself, yeah. Well, actually, he could probably just launch a lawsuit against me for defamation of character. I mean, I'm not sure there's a good $17 to be had out of there after the legal fees, you know.
Larry, if you're listening, invite me to your private island, and then I'll give you.
Let's write you a check for $20 so we can just cut out the middleman right now. Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody's enjoying their Tuesday, including Larry. Larry, you're my friend.
Especially Larry.
Especially.
Call him Larry, right? We call him Larry? Is that all right?
Yeah.
We're on the first name basis now.
We could call him the Big E. You know, it's like we said at the beginning of this podcast. What did they accomplish with their life?
It's like you get called down to the principal's office and they're like, what was so funny in class? You're like, and now it doesn't seem as funny, except this time we're talking about heaven. You know, the stakes are just a little higher.
Paul Thurrott proving once again that if you keep digging, you won't get yourself out of the hole.
Oh well. Okay. Surely something else is happening in the world.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's happening is the Behind the Tech podcast with Kevin Scott. You've likely heard that name. He is the chief technology over at Microsoft. And this week we are highlighting the episode with Tom Daniels. Tom Daniel, it's singular. He's a neuroscientist and bioengineer, people who are way smarter than Paul and I, based on our conversations today. But you can find Behind the Tech podcast on all major platforms. Hit that subscribe button. Check them out. Listen to it. You will enjoy it. There was something that happened.
Was there?
I don't know.
LG. Did we talk about that yesterday?
Yeah, we did. Yep. Thanks for remembering that. Razer Book 13 done.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I'm chipping away. I got a list of laptop reviews I got to get to. I'm bumping up the Razer and the MacBook Pro earlier where they would fall normally because I want to get the Evo stuff, which is overdue at this point, out of the way. But yeah, it's a great laptop. It's very close to what the XPS 13, the Dell, for size and all that kind of stuff. Battery life, I'm not seeing what they're supposed to be. An Evo laptop's supposed to be able to get at least 9 hours of battery life. I'm seeing on average close to the 6.5. I don't know if that's accurate. One of the problems I realized going into last year, and then I certainly am seeing now, is it's hard to get good real world battery life measurements that I trust, but I don't know. We'll see. I've had instances where on particular days it got 8.5 to 8 hours and 45 minutes of battery life. So it's gotten close, but on average, like I said, on average, I can only report what I see. It's like 6:35, I think, something like that.
I think we need to start measuring battery life in terms of flights. Like, this one will last you from JFK to SFO. This one won't make it.
There's all this. So I didn't put this in a review, but there's all this stuff kind of on the side of these types of things. So, for example, like the OnePlus 9 Pro that I'm using right now, I don't think that gets particularly good battery life either. Certainly compared to the Google Pixel I was using before, which I could run that thing for 2 days. Now this is 2 days in a pandemic, right? So I'm not traveling. I'm not out taking pictures all day long and, that kind of thing. But 2 days, like this phone, it's 1 day. Very clearly, it's like half. But the OnePlus 9 Pro has like crazy fast wireless charging, 65 watt wired charging, 50 watt wireless charging. That wireless charging is faster than most devices charge on a wire.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need a special charger for that, obviously, with little fans in it. But the charger for this thing is so powerful it can charge a laptop. Right? Laptops come with 65-watt chargers, sometimes 45 watts. So that kind of stuff is interesting to me because the ability to have one charger that does everything and actually works well is amazing. And then I think the ability to fast charge, like the OnePlus can get a day of charge in 15 minutes, right? So is it a problem that there's only 1 day of battery life? Like, actually, probably not, So for this particular device, it doesn't have crazy fast charging or anything, but yeah. I think tied to it would be, well, okay, but if I plug this thing in and, it can charge to an acceptable level in X number of minutes, is that okay? And like this thing, that's not really a selling point of this particular device, but that is often a selling point of laptops. So I think that has to factor in as well.
Good factors.
I don't know.
They're laptops.
Yeah.
Not much else, really, I don't think.
I'm getting my second vaccination today, Brad.
Oh, is it what? Has it really been 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm. I know.
So this is supposed to be. Did you get the Pfizer?
I did. It's a 3-week turnaround.
Yeah, so this is the one that's supposed to be kind of rough, maybe.
Yeah, so we'll see what I'm like tomorrow. I think I was bad this morning. We'll see. I don't know. How do you prepare for that? I don't know.
Alcohol, maybe? Actually, that's probably the opposite of what you really want to do, but...
Yeah, I don't even... Yeah, I literally...
someone's got to find out for me, right?
Some people don't have side effects, right?
Yeah.
If I grow like a hand out of the side of my head, like you might want to listen to Jenny McCarthy. She's on to something. Our words no one has ever said.
Anyways, Larry, if you want to take him out of the planet, no one's going to stop you. Today's podcast is brought to you by Behind the Tech with Kevin Scott. You can find his podcast on all major podcast platforms, and we'll catch all of you right back here tomorrow, provided Paul doesn't grow another hand.
Oh, God.